Hey Hofstra fans, it's time once again for the WB Masons Coaches Report. I'm Rob Joyce, joined as always by the head coach of the Hofstra volleyball team, Kristina Hernandez. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Now, since we last talked, your team has gone 2-2, wins over Rhode Island and Colgate, and losses to Long Island of Brooklyn. And then Colombia will start last Tuesday against the Blackbirds. What was LIU able to do to pull away with the win?
They really just kind of capitalized on the errors that we were making. I think that we had the fourth set ready to close out, and we made consecutive strings of errors, and it kind of let them back in the set, and that's really what happened in that match.
In that fourth set, as you mentioned, you did almost have it wrapped up. It's really the first time, though, that you weren't able to hold a lead when you had it in the 20s. So what did you tell the team afterwards?
That we are the team that finishes those points out, and that's what we practice on, and that's what we've been really good at all season. And we don't necessarily know if we would have won the match, but I definitely think that we should have gone to a fifth set to see.
And then certainly plenty of 5-set matches this weekend. All three of your matches will start with Rhode Island. You win in 5 sets. Catalina Jerry, a triple-double. Talk about her performance.
Catalina did a great job in that match. She's really coming into her own offensively and really starting to score, and that's what we wanted her to do when we put her in that position and kind of playing with the 6-2 a little bit. So she's been doing a really good job, finding ways to score and putting in that offense that we need a little bit more to kind of help us out.
Is she getting more confident as the year goes on offensively?
She is. I think at the beginning she struggled a little bit. She wasn't able to practice as much as everybody else hitting because we need her setting during practice. But, she stayed really strong, and it's one of her goals most days in practice to really work on working around the block and tooling. So she's definitely getting better, and it's making us stronger in that sense.
And also Kylie Mineja, a career-high 33 digs. Now, Kelsey Wells and Nikki Kinnear are the big names, but how important is it for the seniors like Mineja and Cherry to step up?
It's really important. They come every day, and they do what they're supposed to do every match that we play, and we need them to be consistent and do those things so that we can be competitive in matches.
And after you dropped the 4th set to Long Island, you came back against Rhode Island down 2-1, take both the 4th and 5th sets. Did you like the response from the team that they were able to pull out the win?
I did. It shows their resilience, and it's something that they've been really good with. I don't think we played particularly well in the 2nd or 3rd sets, but they bounced back, and the 4th set was really good, and the 5th set they came out really strong and aggressive, and it definitely showed.
And then you defeat Colgate the next day, also in 5 sets. You had multiple people with double-digit digs, but Karina Delgadillo, a freshman with a team-high 15. How has she progressed as the year's gone on? We haven't talked about her much.
She's progressed so much in the past week. Her confidence has gone up, and she's been working a lot on her defensive weaknesses to make sure that they're more becoming strengths for her, and she does a really great job of covering our hitters off of the block and gets a lot of second opportunities for us. But she's really developed this past week, and we're hoping that she continues throughout the season.
Now on Saturday night you lose in 5 sets to Colombia. What was the difference between that match and the other 2 this weekend?
Colombia was tough. Colombia, by the 5th set, they were swinging more aggressively, and they really just worked off of our block and were scoring off of tooling us at the most. And those are difficult points because you can't really dig a lot of those balls. So I think that they were a little bit cleaner, and they didn't make as many errors as we did in the 5th set, and that was really the difference.
Did fatigue play a factor at all? 3 5-set matches in a 26-hour period?
Yeah, it's tough to play 5 sets, especially with Nikki and Kelsey taking a lot of our swings and scoring big points for us. I think that they were definitely fatigued by that 5th set, but they kept swinging. We've got to kind of pull it out. It was a long weekend and long matches, but I think they did well and responded well in those 5th sets and came back.
Still, you're 3-1 in 5-set matches. What is it about these 5th sets that you're usually able to pull out the close wins?
We do a really good job, I think, in the 5th set of minimizing our errors, and I think fatigue on Saturday definitely played into us having more hitting errors in that 5th set, but they've been really good so far offensively when we're in the 5th set of really minimizing our errors and scoring points and creating points and not letting the other team get in the match.
Now you had the long weekend this past weekend. You've had 4 matches in weekends, the previous couple. Is it good now to go down to 2 matches a weekend now that conference play is starting to come around?
Yeah, it's good. We'll have some time to rest a little bit, but really just kind of key in on opponents. We've been working on some stuff yesterday and some stuff that we want to implement today in our match so we can kind of take it into Saturday. We need to get some more offense from our middles, and we've been working on that a lot. So hopefully tonight's match we can do that a little bit more and kind of spread out our offense a little bit. But it's nice to be able to take the time to actually zone in on an opponent, know what we're going to do, and really have some days to practice and get used to that.
And that last week you weren't happy with the hitting. Did you like it this week more?
Our hitting was better. It was still inconsistent by the sets more, but we were back to where we usually are. It was just a little bit consistent from set to set, but definitely back to where we wanted it to be. And now we've just got to work on getting our middles a little bit more in there and cleaning them up, and we'll be good to go.
And Kelsey Wells, after struggling a bit in Texas, 80 kills this past week. Is that the response you expected?
Yes. She came back. She did a great job, and she's still working to expand her game some more. But I'm glad to see her back to normal. But her and Nikki play really well off of each other, so I think that they'll just continue to do that all season.
And you said the serving was under aggressive last week, so did you think that improved?
Serving improved. We had some serving errors in more key moments this past weekend that we usually don't do, but our serving was more aggressive. I think that they were really getting after it, trying to ace teams and really keep them out of system, which is something which our philosophy kind of goes on with serving. So they did a much better job with that.
Now you have a match tonight against Fordham, in a couple weeks Iona, but for the most part, the non-conference slate is done. You have a winning record. What do you think overall of the out-of-conference schedule?
They've done a good job. I think there's a few games where I think it could have gone a different way for us if we would have cleaned up our play a little bit, but they came out really strong, and I think when we got tougher competition, it got a little shaky, but they cleaned it up this past weekend, which is what we wanted. And I think from here on out, we'll just continue to get better and hopefully see some bigger numbers.
Tonight you take on Fordham. They've won 4 matches in a row. How do you slow them down?
Fordham is always a tough team. They run their middles really fast, and they've got some good players, and it's always a good match between us. A lot of rivalry there, obviously. So we really have to just zone in on their middles a little bit more and keep them out of system as much as we can.
Now tonight you're playing over at the Max Sports Complex. You move to the Rec in a couple of weeks. Does all these changes in venues play any factor?
No. I think we'll be all right. I think we're still on campus, so I don't think it's that big of a move. We practiced yesterday in the arena, so I think we're used to it and we'll be all right.
Then after tonight, CAA play starts. Is there an extra gear that the team takes it into once conference play begins?
It's a different gear, and obviously games are more important, but we've been really focusing on them trying to play every single point competitively. So if we take that into conference, then we'll continue to be competitive and hopefully pull it out.
And now you start with preseason favorite at Northeastern. They have an all-CAA first-team player, Janelle Tucker. They have the Rookie of the Year in Janine Brennan. What makes this team so good?
They're very balanced in the fact that they have a lot of people that can do things. I don't think that they necessarily have, a big player that was going to score, huge points, but they really spread the ball out, and there's a lot of players that, get 2 or 3 kills a set. So you really have to worry about everything that they're doing. You can't really zone in on one player. So we've got to kind of make our priorities and really just kind of focus on what we're doing offensively. But Northeastern's always a strong team. They've got a lot of players returning, so we expect it to be a tough match.
What would be the keys to victory this weekend?
Focusing on what we're doing and really just spreading out our offense a little bit more, getting our middles in. I think if we can do that, then it gives Kelsey and Nikki a little bit of breathing room and helps them score more points against maybe single blocks or have some more holes in the defense. So that's something that we really want to make sure that we're doing by this weekend.
Kristina Hernandez, thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you.
Hofstra takes on Fordham tonight at 7. You can check out GoHofstra.com for video, audio, and live stats. I'm Rob Joyce. Thank you as always listening to the WB Mason's Coaches Report with Kristina Hernandez.